From the After Dark World Headquarters, good morning to all. Mr. and Ms. America, all ships at sea. Good morning from KD After Dark. This is your correspondent, KD. We'll begin. I'm just covering up the lens. We'll begin with a letter this morning. Come on in. Distribution Manager, Brown & Williamson Tobacco Company, Louisville, Kentucky. Dear Sir, I regret to inform you that Salem's have all but swamped Cools in the Puerto Rican cigarette market. I don't know if this makes much difference to you or not, but let me tell you, it bothers the mortal hell out of me. I've been smoking Cools for close to 10 years, but down here I have an easier time getting a steady supply of reefer. There are God knows how many cigarette machines in San Juan, and in only 3 of them can I find king-size Cools. This is working a tremendous hardship on me, and I'm writing you in hopes you'll do something about it. I'm quite willing to do my part. If you lack a competent distributor down here, then consider me at your service. Nothing would make me happier than to drive Salem's off the market for good and ever. It's without a doubt the foulest cigarette in the history of tobacco-addicted man. A tasteless mishmash of paper and dry weeds. But I have yet across a cigarette machine that doesn't have 2 racks of Salem's. As I said before, only 3 that I've found filter Cools. There's no excuse for this kind of negligence on your part. If Cools are deemed too strong for the Puerto Rican taste, then get back to hustling. Huckster Ted Bates on the ball, have him educate these people. He's not paid to ignore new markets. As a native of Louisville and in a long line of Brown Williamson customers, primarily as a man who will have his Cools, I deplore this great vacuum in your distribution. As I said before, I will be glad to help in any way I can. I don't give a damn if you want the ad or not, but contact me if this interests you. My primary concern is the frustrating lack of Cools in Puerto Rico. Whatever action you decide to take on this, please let me hear from you. Sincerely, Hunter Thompson. From the Proud Highway, letters from Hunter Thompson. Cheers, everyone. For the people who went and saw my breaking news, I'm very, 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 very happy with this because it's from the same era. This is the can that Jackie beat. Now, I look at this, 24 ounces. I couldn't even drink all this if it was water. But that maniac could open his throat. He said that was the key, is stand and open your throat, whatever exactly that means, and he could down one of these. Now, I will say he could only down one of these because after that he was... Jackie B, once he got ripped, was enjoying being ripped. And also got another can yesterday. Oh, I forgot to add. This came from Fairbanks, Alaska. Why is there beer can collecting going on in Fairbanks, Alaska? I have no idea. But I'm glad I got it. This can I would have gotten for the color combination alone. It's something about the black and red Black Label can. As I said before, Jackie B. hated these things and called them Mabel's, as in the old Black Label commercial. Mabel, Black Label. Well, anyway, I'm really digging this. And while I'm at show and tell, I wanted to show you a little more of the black and white color combinations I like the most. This is one of my father's old lighter fluid cans. Now, I want you to look at that logo and how cleverly that's designed. I hadn't seen these since I was a kid, because Ideal went out of the lighter fluid business, but Brother Scott gave me this for Christmas one year, and I got quite the kick out of it. 20 cents. I think it's time for another sip of coffee is what I think. One last thing, then I must prepare to wander the earth. I'm not much into sports except baseball. I like baseball fine. But I do have one sports autographed photo. The infamous Chuck Bednarik knocking Frank Gifford out. All right, as you see, Bednarik, he was playing for Philadelphia Eagles. Frank Gifford, the fucker on the ground there, he was playing for the New York Giants and got his ass knocked the fuck out. That legal hit right there put him out of professional football for 18 months. All right, so you see Chuck Bednarik, Hall of Fame, number 60, say, I can't tell. Anyway, he's a badass. This fucking game is over. Gotta love that. Anyway, I dig this. So, here we are. Another day to get shit done, to wander the earth and to get into adventures. I encourage you all to wander the earth and get into adventures today. Perhaps we can meet down the road sometime and get into an adventure together. For Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea, this is KD. For KD After Dark, wishing you a fond farewell, and don't forget what that great intellectual Mr. Flip Wilson said. Don't have a drink for the road, because the road is already laid out.